Wow, wow. What a day, what a day, what a day, what a day, what a day. Well, today the stock market is acting a damn fool. It's been dropping for 7 straight days, and a lot of this was predictable. And I'm going to pretty much break this down for you and let you guys know what the hell's going on with the stock market. So get comfortable, buck up your seatbelt. We're going to get started on the Black Financial Channel right now. Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the Black Financial Channel. That's theblackfinancialchannel.com. My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins. I am your friendly neighborhood finance professor. On the Black Financial Channel, we talk about black wealth and black economics every day, sometimes as much as 10 times a day, under the condition that you are okay with the fact that we love ourselves up in here. We are black first, B1, B1, B1. That's what we do. That's what we believe. And it doesn't mean we hate anybody else. It just means that we want to make sure we close the racial wealth gap and also push our people ahead. So if you agree with this philosophy, put a hashtag B in the number one in the chat, hashtag B1. Let me know we're on the same page. Doesn't mean I'm against anybody else, but I'm definitely for my people that want to win. For the people that want to lose, I got to talk to y'all outside. But for people that want to win, stay in the building because we're going to have a conversation about how to build your wealth. So here's the deal right now. Look, the stock market is getting pretty bloody right now. Let me just ask you guys real quick. I see you in here, Linda and Dre and Tierra and Josh and Rodney. So how are you feeling right now with your stocks? How's that looking for you? How does that feel? How'd you feel this morning when you got up and just saw that it felt like your portfolio was on fire? How many of y'all felt like your portfolio was on fire? Like, what the hell, man? What the hell? This is garbage. This is crazy. I don't blame you. I totally understand. I totally get it. A lot of people are feeling hurt right now. A little bit butt hurt, a little bit sad. And somebody asked, "How are you so calm, Doc?" Well, the reason I'm calm is because I'm 50. If I was 20, maybe I wouldn't be so calm. Maybe if I was 30, I'd be maybe a little bit freaked out. But when you're 50, you just kind of know this too shall pass, right? This too shall pass. And the thing about the stock market that you got to understand, now this was something I've been saying for a while. It sounded crazy as I was saying it, but now it doesn't sound so crazy, I believe. Is from the very beginning, I've always said the stock market's always going to crash. It's always going to crash. It's always going to crash. So when your relatives come up, anybody got those relatives that come up and say, "Don't invest in the stock market. Stock market gonna crash. Look at you now. Look at you now. You put your money in the stock market. Now you're losing money. What's wrong with you, Lord Jesus?" The stock market always crashes. It's been crashing. I mean, that's a fundamental dimension of capitalism. That's capitalism. Capitalism is it's the economic crack pipe. The highs are high and the lows can be low. And you got to be, if you can't stand the rain, like New Edition always says, if you can't stand the rain, then you don't need to be in the relationship, right? Because let me tell you another little secret about the stock market and capitalism and all the crashes. The crashes are the reason you make money. The crashes, do you know how much money was made during the Great Depression? Do you know? Seriously, everybody talks about like, oh my God, everybody was broke. Everybody lost money. No, no, no. Go ask the Kennedy family. The Kennedys made all their money during the Great Depression. So the reality is that if you want to know why I'm calm, it's because I believe in some of what Warren Buffett always says. I knew this before I knew about Warren Buffett, but Warren Buffett learned his investing style from a book called by Graham and Dodd called Value Investing. And this book was written in the 1930s, right during the Great Depression. This book was written in the Great Depression. So Warren Buffett, who was also very relaxed, no matter what the market conditions are, understood a couple of things. One, if you're not prepared to hold a stock for at least 5 years, you shouldn't hold it for 5 minutes. He always says that. Actually, he says 10 years. I say 5. He says 10. It's fine. Tomato, tomato. Secondly, he always said, and I agree with this too, you should be fearful when others are greedy and greedy when others are fearful. So if you're scared now, this is the wrong time to be scared. This is the wrong time to be scared. When you should have been scared was 2 months ago when everybody thought it was going to keep raining money forever. That's when you really should have been nervous. That's when you should have been like, oh, wait a minute, this is not going to end well. This is going to go bad, right? Now everybody's getting scared. Well, smart people, B1 people, the people that come to this platform, you're not the average bear. I'm not the average guy. I admit I'm probably more educated than 99.9% of the people I'll ever meet, and I'm not ashamed of that. I think black intelligence is a good thing. I'm not going to act ignorant just so I can fit in. And the reality is that those of you who are smarter than the average person, I hope you will listen to me and understand this is kind of when the fortunes are made. This is when the opportunities emerge. Now, here's the deal. It's a little bit tough though, because maybe with your asset valuations declining, it's tough to come up with the cash you need in order to make a move. That's why a lot of the leading money managers, when the market was taking off, you would hear them say, "Oh, we got cash on the side ready to deploy. We got cash on the side ready to deploy." You know why? Because they were waiting for America to go on sale. They were waiting for the discount to occur, and the discount is happening right before your eyes. Now, let me just give you a summary here. Hit the thumbs up button. If you could, please hit the thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, share, subscribe. Please do that. We're building Black-owned media right now. We really could use your help. Also, I decided with those of you who become patrons of the channel, if you go to intelligentblackpeople.com and support the channel, I will put some stock picks in there every week for you as kind of a trade, as a thank you for becoming a patron of the channel. So I'll put some stocks in there. That I do research on stocks all the time. I always find good bargains. Now is as important a time as ever to pick the right stocks, because before you could pick any stock and it was going to be a winner. Now you got to pick the right one. So I've been doing a lot of research on that. So if you support the channel, go to intelligentblackpeople.com and support the channel. I will, for the patrons, give you some stock picks every week that'll hopefully help you make your investment decisions. It's not investment advice, but it is me telling you what I'm buying, what I like. All right. So here's what it says here. It looks like, according to CNBC, the Dow falls by 700 points. This is the seventh straight decline in a week. If you look here, okay, it looks like it's kind of pulled back a little bit. It's down by about 500 points. Let me read some of this to you, and then I'm going to kind of give you an interpretation of what I'm seeing here. This is the stuff that we studied when I was getting my PhD. We studied these declines and how they work and how long they last and what tends to happen afterward and all that stuff. One of the things that a lot of people are thinking that you want to be real careful about is buying the dip. A lot of people think you should always buy the dip no matter what. You shouldn't buy the dip in every stock. Some stocks are dead. Some stocks are duds. So let's see. Slick says, "Doc, did you sell yours?" I sold some of my stuff. I sold some of my duds. Now you have what is called a flight to quality. You have a push where now those companies that were living off of hype are kind of deflating. SPACs are deflating. High growth. Some of these high growth tech stocks, high growth, low profitability or no profitability tech stocks are deflating big time. What's another category that's meme stocks? I mean, meme stocks, my God, if you've been putting most of your money in meme stocks, I need to talk to you. Me and you need to go talk to Jesus to kind of help you figure out your investment strategy a little bit better. Not making fun of you. I'm just telling you that those meme stocks look good until they don't look good. Now, what are my thoughts on crypto? Crypto is also looking pretty bad right now. You could be headed toward another crypto winter. Like they say in Game of Thrones, winter is coming. Well, there's some experts from what my research, there's some experts out there who feel that a crypto winter could be around the corner. They keep looking for these resistance levels. They do a lot of technical analysis on crypto. And now technical analysis is kind of iffy. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And basically they were looking for resistance levels at, 37,000, 34,000. And they said it could keep dropping forever. So at the end of the day, how do you know if a stock is a dud? Well, one way you might know is if the company isn't making a profit yet. Well, those companies are living off of borrowed money. Those companies, think about that. How do you run a business when you ain't making no profit, when you're not making any money? I mean, it's possible. It's very possible. But you can't do that without financing, without access to capital. Well, where does access to capital come from? Well, it comes from a bank loaning you money or investors giving you, give you money, venture capitalists, whatever. Well, what happens when interest rates go up? Well, the cost of capital goes up. So it's almost like a person who doesn't have a car, who's driving a rental car every day. If you increase the price of rental cars, that's going to threaten their business. Do you follow what I'm saying? Give me a yes or no in the chat if you follow what I'm saying. So a lot of these, the SPACs were always garbage. You can go back a year and I was telling you like SPACs are garbage. Like these companies are super overhyped. And what happens is that market sentiment is extremely important. So right now the mood of the economy is shifting. People went from, yeah, woo, I'll buy anything, dude. Yeah, what the hell, man? Reddit Army, AMC apes for life, dude. Now they're like, damn, wait, I'm losing money. Woo. Well, you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of poker. I talked to you guys about poker. I like different games of strategy and stuff. So like poker, and I also play Call of Duty on my YouTube channel. And we talk about stocks while I'm playing video games. So if you're into that kind of stuff and you want to just have fun, feel free to join me. I answer stock questions the entire time while I'm playing. So it's a good time to talk to me if you're trying to talk to me. But anyway, here's the deal. So the thing about it was that it reminds me of poker, because in poker they have this thing called a donkey. A donkey is basically like the poker's way of calling someone a dumbass. A donkey is stubborn. Like, you think about a mule. Mules are stubborn. They won't move if they don't want to move, right? So in poker, a donkey is a person that will never fold. Like, you can never, like, you can bluff them. You can put the biggest bet in the world on the table. And again, I'm pretty good at poker. I played in tournaments and won big tournaments and all. So I understand the strategy behind it. It's a lot of fun. I don't like gambling much, but I love the strategy of poker. And the thing about donkeys is they have this saying where they say you can't bluff a donkey, because donkeys ain't scared of nothing. So what you do is you don't bluff a donkey. You don't try to scare them, right? You don't try to intimidate them to get them to fold. What you do is you beat the shit out of a donkey. You let a donkey, you say, okay, since you want to be a donkey, since you want to really hold on to that, like your mama used to say, hard heads lead to soft behinds. Well, okay, I'm gonna keep whooping that ass and taking all your money until finally you are broken and you walk away and you finally realize that you can't hold on to your cards all the way to the end every single time. You can't being a donkey can be very expensive. So what I'm saying to you right now about the stock market is this: don't be a donkey. That's what I'm saying to you. Don't be a donkey. You know, donkey, don't be, if you're an AMC ape, those are donkeys. Don't be a damn AMC ape donkey, like where you're going to invest in this damn, do you know what the real true fundamental, like if you mathematically, remember, my master's is in mathematics, and I can sit down on a piece of paper and value a stock price, right, with a math equation. Do you know what the true fundamental value of AMC stock is, according to his mathematical equation? Somebody guess. Somebody who watches the channel regularly, see if you can guess. What is the true economic value? Let's go. Again, this is for intelligent people. Hold on, let me shut this off. Sorry, guys. Let me look up the price of AMC stock. I'm sure AMC is getting body slammed. Let me see. AMC stock is now trading at $15 a share. Let's see. It's gone down 60% in the last 6 months. Now it's gone up 250% in the last year, so that's good. But the last 6 months it's been getting killed, right? Well, does anybody know what the true economic value of AMC stock is? Yeah, it's pretty much zero. Like, AMC stock has no value. Like, there's nothing there. Like, you're investing in nothing. Now, sometimes investing in nothing can almost make sense, because if people believe in something, you know, sometimes stock prices can be like fairies. I remember in Peter Pan, they said to Tinkerbell, they said, do fairies exist? And she said, fairies exist if you believe in them. Right. And that makes sense, actually. The more you believe in something, the more real it becomes. Right. If people believe in a certain idea, it becomes very real, very relevant. Like, we believe Michael Jordan is an important person because he could put a ball through a hoop. Well, then that becomes real. It manifests itself. Michael Jordan's a billionaire because people believe that he's important, even though he's not any more important than you or I. Right. So belief can matter. Right. It can manifest. You have a godlike power to do that. But the problem with AMC stock is that once you start challenging that belief, once you start cracking holes in that belief system, then guess what? Reality starts setting in, and then you start seeing those prices start to plummet. So with AMC stock, you know, don't be surprised if you see AMC continue to drop, or it could go back up. Maybe the market sentiment will shift. Nobody really knows. Nobody can kind of predict that. But at the end of the day, you know, when you're talking about investing, make sure you know the different categories. It's like dating, you know, like everybody isn't supposed to be your wife. Every man you meet ain't supposed to be your husband, right? But maybe you like that person for 2 weeks, right? Maybe you like them because they're a good friend. Maybe it's it's going to be a nice 2-year relationship, you know, that'll prepare you for your spouse. That's okay. All those tiers can have value, but you got to know what it is. You got to know what it is. But if you try to turn a hoe into a housewife, you're going to get it wrong, right? And so ultimately, at the end of the day, some of these stocks are just absolute garbage. They're absolute garbage. AMC is garbage. Some of this, you know, Dogecoin and all that, that's garbage. But it's gambling. It's gambling garbage. Some of these NFTs are garbage, right? You're paying $50,000 for a ugly little painting, ugly little digital painting, right? That literally the art isn't even any good, but you're gonna pay $50,000 for it. Well, why? Well, because everybody else is paying $50,000 for it, and what you're hoping for is you're leaning on what they refer to as the bigger fool theory. You're making the assumption, you're betting on the stupidity of humanity. That's what you're betting on. And believe me, it's a good bet. It's a good bet, because the world stays stuck on stupid. You got a lot of people out here that just stay stuck on stupid, and it's a good bet to bet on stupidity sometimes. So if you're betting on an NFT, if you buy it for 10,000 and it's an ugly little painting picture of a dog that some nerd made on his laptop in about 5 minutes, okay, but what you're hoping for is that someone will come along and say, I'll pay 12,000 for it. And then you make your money, and that's okay. But that's also a Ponzi scheme to some extent, because there's no inherent fundamental utility that underlies that value. You're literally on a house of cards that could crack at any moment and cost you everything, right? So the stock market, but then again, you could really, if you want to get philosophical, you could say the whole economy is a little bit like that, because the Fed has created this scenario. They created this bubble. Every expert I saw was pretty much predicting all this. They were like, what are they doing? Like, this is crazy. Like, Jeremy Siegel out of Penn, Wharton. There's another guy, I forgot his name, El Haran, who's the dean of a school in New York. I forgot his name. He's on CNBC a lot. There's a guy, who else? A lot of people were predicting it, basically. A lot of people were predicting that this was going to happen. And so this is like sort of par for the course. Now, the question is, how does the market react to what is happening? And now let me go ahead and give me a second. I got to delete a couple spammers in here. And I want to warn everybody, by the way, if anybody pretending to be me ever messages you and says, hey, here's my WhatsApp, follow me, and you can invest in my Bitcoin strategy or whatever, like, just please ignore that and report that person, because apparently there's some Boyce Watkins impersonators out here that are reaching out to people directly. I don't slide in people's DMs, trying to get money or get ass. I don't do that. I'm a married man who's not out here trying to do nothing like that to you. So if you ever get a message like that from me, just report that person, because that's probably not me. It's definitely not me, because I just don't have time to do that. Okay. So hit the thumbs up button, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Also, if you want free stock picks, stuff like that, I love it if you support the channel. You can go to intelligentblackpeople.com. That's intelligentblackpeople.com. And I'll put some stock picks in there every week that I like. If you want a stock that I like right now, I like Shopify. That's just one of the Shopify and Amazon. Those are two stocks I really like right now. I bought some more of Amazon today, and I bought some Shopify too. And so, these times are tough, right? But again, this is when the money's made. So if you have some money that you want to deploy, this might be a good time to consider popping in there. Now, remember this though, just because it's dropped doesn't mean it has to go up. That's the thing. Don't assume that because it's dropped as much as it has, that it's going to continue, that it's going to just start going up, that the reversals are just going to happen. Because remember, the market's way up. The market's way up, and everything is about perspective, right? It's all about perspective. So let me show you all a picture. If you're on the Black Financial Channel or Dr. Boyce TV, you'll see the picture. If you're on Instagram, you won't see it, but I'll describe it to you. And if you want to go to the YouTube channel, just click the link in the bio and you can get to the YouTube channel. So let me show you guys a screenshot of what I'm looking at here. Give me 1 second here. All right, let's see. I'm sharing my screen. Share screen window. Y'all give me a second. I'm trying to make sure I don't mess it up. All right, Chrome tab. There we go. All right, so let me show you all this screen. All right, so look at this right now, right? So you look at the Dow right now. It looks, it's all red. Red is bad. Green is good, right? So you got this crappy situation where the Dow has dropped, quite a bit today. It's dropped, or actually today it's dropped 576 points or 1.6%. The last week it's dropped by 5% or 1,900 points. The last month it's dropped about 7%, 2,600 points. So we're still not really in bear market territory. We could actually keep going down. So do not forget that. Do not forget that what goes down ain't got to come up. They don't owe you. The stock market does not owe you a come up. It does not owe you a reversal. Right. So just keep that in mind. I wrote my whole dissertation about stock market reversals. The market does not owe you nothing. Right. So it's gone down the last 6 months, though. Look at this. OK, so last 6 months down by 4%. Let's go back to last year, though. Let's see what the last year looks like. The last year, it's green. Look at that. 8.8% increase. That's a good year. That's not a bad year. Right. If you make 8%, 8.8% in a year, that's good. That's better than what you'll get in a bank account. Right. And then look at the last 5 years. If you've been an investor consistently the last 5 years, you've made 67% on your money. And that's by buying a standard S&P 500 index fund. So any asshole, excuse my French, I got to say it like that because it's very important for you to just remember that term when you think about these people who say these crappy things to you. Anybody who comes up to you and is saying to you, haha, see, I told you so, stock market's a scam, you're going to lose all your money, you're going to go broke, the whole economy is going to go bankrupt. Just let them know, like, look, if you were investing consistently in the last 5 years, you made a lot of money. And you definitely made more money than they made by not investing at all. You can't build wealth when you dependent solely on the income from your job. A job will not build you wealth. You cannot save your way to wealth. You must invest in something. You must have some sort of asset that allows your wealth to grow. If you do not have that, then you are going to lose. And if you look at this is just the long-term view. If you've been an investor, say since 2009, look at that. The Dow's at 9,000. It's damn near triple. Actually, it's more than triple. It's more than tripled. So think about this, right? Imagine buying a house in 2009 for $100,000, and then 2022, the house is worth $350,000. Like, that's a pretty good house. That's a pretty good situation. That's good. You're winning. You see, so people who understand the stock market are people who see that big picture. People like me, I studied, a lot of stock market data over the years. I've written a lot of research papers that have gone into academic journals about how the market works and market dynamics. So I'm really talking to you guys from a big picture perspective. And I don't want you to get caught up in the short-term stuff. The short-term, day-to-day, you guys know why I talk about the stock market every day? Honestly, because it's pretty entertaining. It's fun. It's fun to watch the drama. It's my nerdy version of like watching episodes of Love and Hip Hop. Think about it. Anybody ever watch those stupid ass reality shows like as a guilty pleasure? Real Housewives, or I don't watch Real Housewives, but or the Jerry Springer Show, or whatever you watch that's stupid. There's a lot of stupid shows to choose from on TV, right? Bad, unhealthy relationships where some poor kids are like actually learning how to have a relationship by watching Love and Hip Hop, which is like just your pathway to toxicity and unhappiness. Well, to some extent, watching the daily drama in the market is just kind of interesting. It's fun for me. But am I necessarily going to overreact to it? No, I'm not. It's just like being married. Like, you can't, if you have a wife and she's moody and she's mad one day, you can't like say, oh, I'm mad at you, I'm getting a divorce now. This is crazy. I'm getting out of here. This marriage stuff is crazy to me. You've been tripping 2 days in a row. You've been mean to me for 2 days in a row. You can't do that. Stock market don't work like that. People who think like that don't make money. The people who make money have a longer term perspective. The number one rule in building wealth through investing is the ability to delay your gratification and not overreact. And so if you ever want to know why so many people just get broke and stay broke, it's because that's how they were raised. They were trained to overreact. They were trained to be very short-sighted. They were trained on instant gratification. So the instant gratification is that instant high you get, that dopamine rush you get from the fact that you feel like you made money that day because your stocks went up. But the people that really make the money, the real G's in investing, millionaires, billionaires, they do? They buy some shares and they just hold them. If you did that with Bitcoin, you'd be way up. Like, let's look at the price of Bitcoin. Let's use that as an example. Let me see. I'm going to dig up the price of Bitcoin. Do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button, share, subscribe button if you haven't done it yet. And also, we have stock market investing class on Tuesday. So if you'd like to join that, just go to boycewatkins.com and you can do a 2-week trial in the class to see if you like it. It's very, very good. I'm very good at what I do. All right, so let me show you all the price of Bitcoin. Let's see here. Here we go. All right, so let's look at Bitcoin real quick. All right. Remember, everything's about perspective. Life is like about perspective. In fact, every time I get into an argument with my wife, you know what I do? I do a woosah and I back up and I say, is this going to matter in 5 years? How am I going to see this in 5 years? And then I'm like, boys, you probably won't even remember the argument in 5 years. And you know what I do? I just stop arguing. Whatever it was we were mad about, I just let it go. I walk away. That's a little secret, little marriage secret in case anybody ever wants to take the plunge. It ain't easy, but you can do it. All right. So here's the thing. All right. So 1 day drop in Bitcoin, 6%. That's huge. 2,000 points, $2,000 decline. The last 5 days, Bitcoin's dropped by 18%, over $7,000 per coin. The last month it's dropped by 32.9%. That's a very big deal. That's crazy, right? Last 6 months, not much in the last 6 months, right? Let's go back to last year. Look at that. Now you're green again, 5.5%. Now look at the 5-year increase, though. Look at that. Holy crap. Holy crap. Again, what did I say about perspective? What did I say about a long-term thinker versus a short-term thinker? What did I say about not overreacting? You don't have to always overdo it. Sometimes chill. You're doing too much. When it comes to investing, sometimes you're doing too much. You're buying, selling, buying, selling, buying, selling, buying, selling, buying. If you had bought Bitcoin and just pick the strategy and maintain your conviction, like if you just said, I believe in Bitcoin's long-term potential. If you've done a Kathy Wood invests like this with ARK. That's why I actually like Kathy quite a lot. I think she's very good. I mean, I don't like white women like that. I wouldn't date a white woman or nothing, but she's smart. Like I like smart people, and she's thinking 10 years down the line. If you had thought this way 5 years ago, and you went in and you said in 2017, I'm going to it's Bitcoin is $1,000 each. I'm going to buy me, 10 Bitcoin, or I'm going to buy Bitcoin every chance I get consistently every week. Put a little bit of money in Bitcoin I got a little extra money. I'm going to put some money in it. Look at this. Bitcoin has gone up in the last 5 years, 3,191.25%. It has gone up from $1,035 to $34,082. What are you mad for? What are you mad for? God put wealth and riches right in front of you. And if you're always looking at the little picture, you can't see the big one. If you're always looking for the little picture, you're always going to miss the big one. The money was right there in front of you. And here's the deal. Opportunities are always being put in front of you. The same way you can look back 5 years and see this easy, treasure chest you could have had by now if you'd done something consistent 5 years ago. Well, there's another treasure chest being put in front of you right now. There's another opportunity being put in front of you right now, such that in 2027, which hopefully I'll be still sitting here talking to you every day in 2027, because I was talking to you every day in 2017. I was talking to you every day, probably, I think, in 2012. I was writing articles every day in 2012. So 5 years from now, I assume maybe I'll still be here. Hopefully you'll still be coming to the channel. And what we're going to be talking about in 2027 is I'm going to say, look at this thing right here. If you had invested consistently in this thing, or just planted your money and stopped doing too much, if you had done this back in 2022, it would be worth 30 times more in 2027. Do you understand what I'm saying? Do you follow what I'm saying? Wealthy people, people that build wealth, people that build empires, tend to have a perspective that leans toward visionary, right? You can't just see what's happening around you. You must be able to see all that will happen in the future, or all that could happen in the future. You have to be able to see, almost different realities, like in Game of Thrones, there was a time where the guy was giving the queen advice, and he said, make all your allies your enemies, and imagine all your enemies as your allies. Play out every scenario in your head, and that's how you win war, right? So for some of us, the war is against ignorance. Some of us, the war is against poverty. For some of us, the war is against short-sightedness. Whatever your battle is, you can win that battle, but you got to be able to think on a different level. You got to be able to chill out and just be consistent. Consistency wins in everything. Take it from a person who's had some success. I've done some things no black person on the planet has ever done. So it took consistency. It took me saying, okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do it. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care what you said Tuesday, right? It doesn't matter to me. This is my 5-year plan. What is your 5-year plan when it comes to investing? This is a great time to implement that 5-year investing plan, because right now, at least relative to what prices were last month, they're pretty low. America's on sale, and the companies that people are leaning toward are companies that are making money. So you might ask me, well, what would you invest in right now? Amazon. I like Amazon a lot. I think Amazon's a good investment, and so there you go. That's my 2 cents on what I'm seeing in the market. Market sentiment is changing. Investors are now afraid, more so than they've been in a long time. That can create market overreactions. When the market gets too emotional, when investors get too emotional, they tend to oversell, or they tend to overbuy. They tend to just go too far in one direction or the other. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's an overshoot. I wouldn't be surprised if this week ends up being like one of the best weeks in history. And I wouldn't be surprised if it ends up being one of the worst weeks in history, because right now you're kind of in that rough spot, where maybe, it's like you see somebody fighting with their girlfriend or their boyfriend, and then somebody pulls out a gun. So you're like, okay, this is either going to be a real great moment of clarity, or it's going to be a terrible tragedy, right? Something's about to happen, because the Fed is going to make some announcements this week. Companies are going to announce their earnings this week. and investors are going to decide how scared they should be. The big question with the Fed is whether or not they're going to overshoot their response to inflation, because they already overshot their response to the pandemic. So this Fed doesn't quite seem to always get it right. So the question is, are they going to get it right this time? Nobody knows. That's going to all be sort of played out through time. All right, guys, I'm going to get on out of here. Go to boycewatkins.com if you want to join my stock market investing class on Tuesday. You can send me questions. I will answer every single question submitted by every single student. So if you'd like to join, go to boycewatkins.com. Feel free to take a look. You can do a free trial. Also, if you want me to send you some stock picks, I can do that. I can send them to you every week if you are a patron of the channel. So go to intelligentblackpeople.com. Support the channel. If you do that, you support us, we'll support you. So if that means anything to you, I do research in stocks all the time. I'm always picking stuff that I like. I can send you some stock picks each week and also invite you guys into some private Black wealth conversations, stuff like that. So feel free to support the channel. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Have a great day. God bless you. Thank you for listening. It was real. Hang in there. It's going to get better. I promise. Peace.